So what is happening right now with price action of Bitcoin? Because if you monitor this price movement in a weekly time frame, the price of Bitcoin is doing its best to stay above this 0.5 Fibonacci retracement line that is lying around 46,700, 46,800 price area. Why is that so important? Finding support above this 0.5 line, because this 0.5 Fibonacci line in the past Bitcoin price action was a strong line of support. So that's why we said when we got a rejection from this 0.5, we wanted a proper support over this 0.5 Fibonacci retracement area, because if we do manage to flip this resistance into support, right, then as I have said plenty of time, the price of Bitcoin is ready for this next move that could bring us around this 0.618 Fibonacci line, and that is around $51,000. So that's why, guys, we want at any cost the price of Bitcoin to stay above this 0.5 Fibonacci line here in a weekly time frame. What is happening here in a daily time frame? Because in a daily time frame, if you look at this Williams alligator indicator, guys, this Williams alligator indicator is still in favor of bull. Why? Because whenever you see after this moving averages crossover, right, the green line appearing at the top and the blue line at the bottom, that is a sign that bulls are still in control. Because if you go back here from 2020, right, if you look at this massive price movement here from 2020, the green line always stayed at the top and the blue line was always at the bottom. And that's why we also said any sort of a price pullback right now, this Williams alligator indicator is going to be one strong line of support, and we are actually expecting more of a range bound market and price heading to the upside. Because not just only from 2020, if you go back here, right, and look from this movement, the green line was always at the top, blue line was always at the bottom. Right here from 2019, another scenario as well, right, you can see green line was always at the top, blue line was always at the bottom, acted as a strong line of support. From 2017, you can see pretty similar scenario. So that's why right now, since we are also witnessing this crossover, right, and this crossover is also indicating right now this green line is at the top and the blue line is at the bottom, indicating the strength is there. So bulls might still be in control. And not just only this Williams alligator indicator, also these moving averages. If we look at this 20 exponential moving average, which is this green line, and the 50 exponential moving average, whenever we have seen this crossover, also here with the moving averages, the 20 exponential moving average at the top and the 50 exponential moving average at the bottom, right, this crossover has always led to some really nice price movement here in the Bitcoin price action. So as long as this crossover is going to stay, just like here from this Williams alligator indicator, you can see this crossover happened here and the price started this new trend where the green line was at the top and red line was at the bottom. With each and every bullish price movement from 2019, you can see from 2020, this 20 exponential moving average above 50 exponential moving average led to some really nice price movement here in the past Bitcoin price action. So that's why we are also expecting this moving average, the 20 exponential moving average, to act as a strong line of support along with this Williams alligator indicator if we would see any sort of a pullback and price finding a proper support above it and actually moving here in this manner, more of a range bound market. Because in a smaller time frame around this area, you can see, guys, a very interesting scenarios unfolding right now for Bitcoin. So this here is Bitcoin price action in a 4-hour time frame. What we are going to do is we are going to use this Fibonacci extension line, because right now, if you look at the price action of Bitcoin using this Fibonacci extension line, you can see 0.786 Fibonacci extension line that is lying around 47,800 was one very important line of resistance in a 4-hour time frame. And yesterday when we had this price pullback, you can see this price pullback found a proper support above this 0.618 Fibonacci extension line, and that was around $45,571. So right now you can see, guys, the price of Bitcoin does looks like it is going to again try to break out of this 0.786 Fibonacci line that is lying around $47,817. But our personal target is this 100% Fibonacci extension line, and that is lying around 50,000 to 51,000 area. Why I'm actually expecting the price to see at least a move around this area, because you can see in a weekly, this is also our 0.618 Fibonacci extension line, right? So that is also lying around 51,000. So what I want the price of Bitcoin is to break out of this 0.786 Fibonacci extension line, because turning this Fibonacci extension line into support here, right, will indicate that we are ready for this next move that could bring the price around this 100% Fibonacci extension line. And not just only that, what I'm also going to add here into this video is this one scenario. Because if you would monitor this price movement here in this manner, you can see very, very clearly, guys, the price here could be following this ascending channel, and we have also talked about this already on my video, and that's why we were actually expecting any sort of a price pullback here to the downside. This lower line from this ascending channel will be acting as a strong line of support along with this moving averages and Williams alligator indicator. We have talked about that, right? But right now, if you monitor this here, we are expecting some really nice impulsive movement type of scenario playing out for Bitcoin. But if you look at this clearly, this could actually be a retest, right? A retest, because this rising wedge scenario, you can see if I remove this ascending channel, this here might be a retest. Support, support, support. And now we have already broken below this support line from this rising wedge. We could be finding some strong resistance lying around this price area of 47,100, 47,200. So if the price of Bitcoin manages to come across this area, then this trend could actually try breaking here to the upside. But we should still be very, very careful, because this could just be a retest, right? Retest, getting rejection around this lower line area, and then again continue this trend here to the downside, because we are aware any sort of a pullback, right? Any sort of a pullback, this ascending channel lower line could be acting as a strong line of support around 42,000 to 43,000 price range. So still, right, if you still look at this, this is a higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern, even if we are going to see any sort of a price pullback appearing. And now, if we look at this in a smaller time frame, let's switch this into hourly time frame, because right now, guys, right now, what I'm actually going to show you here is one very, very interesting scenario here in this manner, right? So this here in hourly time frame looks like an ascending channel. We can see that very clearly. But if we look at this price movement, right, when we came at the lower line area, you can see the lower line was always a strong line of support. The upper line was always a strong line of resistance. But if you only focus around this lower line area, you can see this price movement. We came at the lower line area, found support, started this new move, and this new move came at the top of the channel, right? Again started the downtrend. But if you look at this downtrend also, you can see we were forming this descending channel. When the descending channel or the price came around this lower line area of this bigger ascending channel, we started this new trend here to the upside, also came at the top of the channel, just like here, right? Just like here. And now, if you look at this price structure, you can see very, very clearly the price of Bitcoin is also showing this pretty similar scenario, just like here. We came at the lower line area, and now this is also trying to break just like here, right? Just like here from the past Bitcoin price action. So if this trend is also going to continue, then the upward price target for us is going to be around this upper line area of this ascending channel. So that's why, guys, that's why if this trend is going to continue here to the upside, just like here from the past Bitcoin price action, then we might be heading towards this upper line area of this ascending channel. But one thing, guys, you have to take into consideration: to continue this uptrend here, we have to overcome one obstacle, and that is the lower line area of this rising wedge, right? Because we can see this lower line was a very, very strong line of support, and the same line could be actually acting as a resistance. If this is going to get a retest around this area, right, around the lower line area of this rising wedge, and it is going to act as a strong line of resistance, then we could still expect some downward price movement playing out for Bitcoin. Not just only the lower line area of this rising wedge, but also again from this example, right, if you just monitor the price movement around this central line from this ascending channel, you can see support, right? Support, support. rejection could be also there. So that's why if we do manage to break out of this center line and flip into support, then we are also above this rising wedge, and the trend here could potentially see this movement here to the upward direction towards the upper line area of this ascending channel and also upper line area of this rising wedge. So these are some of the scenarios I thought sharing with you in today's episode. If you enjoyed my work, then please hit the like button, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye guys.